Now, different times are different units of time. I mean, different units of time are used depending on the requirement. Means if suppose if we are talking about the age of some person, we won't say that he is this minutes old or he is this days old. Yes, we will say that he is this days old or this when the child is just born. Then we can say he's 1 year, 1 hour old, or you can say he was just born 1 hour before or 30 minutes before. But suppose if I talk about your age, we won't be saying you are this many hours age. What we'll say? We'll say you are this many years. Your age is 11 years or 10 years or 15 years, whatever your age is. Okay. But similarly, on the other hand, if we ask you about the time you take to reach from school to home or anywhere the time you take to reach from one place to another place, what we'll take? We'll be talking in hours and minutes and seconds, not in years. Because from to go from one place to another place, if it's a short distance, you will need few minutes. If it's more than that, you will be needing 1 hour or half an hour. And if that journey is long, you may be needing, it can be 2 hours, it can be 10 hours, anything. But not, obviously not 1 month, 1 week or 1 year. Okay. So, when we talk about distance, we talk about minutes. We talk in the unit of minutes and seconds, minutes and hours. Whereas when we talk about age, we talk about in years. Okay. Now, you have already known that the smallest time interval that can be measured in a common watch or a normal watch is seconds. However, nowadays there are special clocks which are available and which can measure time interval as small as 1 millionth or 1 billionth of a second. So that much accurate clocks are also available. Wow! And 1 second is equal to 10 to the power 6 microsecond, or 1 second is equal to 10 to the power 9 nanosecond. So if you write 10 into 10 6 times, then you will get 1 second will be equal to that many microseconds. Okay. And similarly is with nanosecond. If you write 10 into 10 times, 10 into 10 into 10, you go on for 9 times. So at this point, I want to say that in India, National Physical Laboratory, which is in New Delhi, it gives the time. It provides the time. The clock that is used there, it can measure time interval with an accuracy of 1 millionth of a second. Means you may have sometimes have noticed that your watch or the watch which you are wearing is showing. Suppose if I talk in seconds, means hours, minutes and seconds, is now 3 o'clock 20 minutes and 13 seconds. But someone else's clock is showing some other time. Means it can be to that minutes and hours are same, but the seconds can be little different. So we actually don't take in that much difference. We don't consider that little difference if it comes in second. But this clock, which is in National Physical Laboratory in Delhi, it has an accurate clock, and which means it has an accuracy of 1 millionth of a second. Means even till 1 millionth of a second, it does not show the wrong time. It has this correct time. Now, clock that measures small intervals are used in the scientific lab. The time of historic, when we are talking about small interval of time, as for microsecond or nanosecond, we talk about the time, means that type of time is required in the lab, in the scientific labs. But when we talk about historic event, suppose when we talk about old Paleolithic age or Neolithic age, or the Stone Age, that was Paleolithic age. So, or about suppose some kings, Akbar, or the Mughal ruler. You all have read this in history. So then we have to talk about how many days. it is suppose 500 years, or when the earth was born, or so that is few million years, or when the dinosaurs lived, or what is the age of the stars, we say it's in billion years. Okay, so where we use big quantity, you can say in very plain language, in very you will say that very big timing lies for billion years or million years or thousands years we use for historic events, and for the smaller amount of time, billionth or millionth, the microsecond or nanosecond, we use in scientific research labs. So from till now what you have learned, that 365 solar days, or simply 365 days is a year. You know that 10 years is equal to 1 decade. 10 decade is equal to 1 century, and 10 centuries is equal to 1 millennium. So if 10 years is equal to 1 decade, so 10 decades will be how many years? It will be 10 into 10, that is 100 years. Okay, so you can calculate now how many 10 centuries means how many years. Now let's come to speed. While moving in the car, you must have heard that your father is asking driver not to overspeed, or while walking along the roadside, you may have observed some cars moving at higher speed than the others. If you closely observe the movement of vehicle, you will find that the speed is not uniform throughout. It depends upon the nature of traffic or on what kind of road it is traveling. The speed always slows down on turns. Okay, so means they want to explain what speed is, what the word speed means. Suppose you are walking and a cyclist is also moving, a car is also moving, a person is also walking by you. You will see all are moving at different paces. Means someone is moving very fast, someone is moving very slow, or someone is moving fast in comparison to another one. Or suppose a car is moving at means very fast, and but there is some obstruction on the road. As for road breaker, this the barriers which you have on the road, that all are there, that comes, and then the driver has to slow down. So this is the speed, means it has to slow down its speed. What we say, slow down the speed, don't walk that fast. So if the person on cycle is moving at a particular speed, the person on a car who is driving the car is moving at another speed, the person who is walking fast or running by you is moving at some other speed, and you are also walking at some speed. So, and this speed depends upon what? It depends upon the nature of traffic. Means whether if there is you are walking in a open ground where there is no one, so you can walk as fast as you can if you want to, or you can walk as slow as you want, because there is no one to obstruct you. But suppose if you are walking in a traffic, suppose you want to go, you are in a market and you want to hurry up and reach some place, but due to the crowd there, you have to slow down. You are not able to move fast. That means you are slowing down your speed. Okay. Another example is the distance. Suppose now the distance between one place to another, say from Delhi to Kolkata, okay, or Delhi to Mumbai, the distance is same. Suppose from Siliguri to Calcutta is nearly 600 kilometers, 600 or some 650 something kilometer. If you travel by plane, you will just need 1.5 hour to 2 hour. Okay, but if you go by train, you will need at least 12 hours. 10 to 12 hours, depends upon the speed of the train. So what did I say? Speed. So now you can understand the plane that is moving much faster than the train of the car. That means the speed of the plane is very high in comparison to the speed of the train of a car. Now if you start walking from Siliguri and you want to reach Calcutta, you will take few days to reach. Okay, so that means the speed of the train or the car is much faster than that of your speed. Okay, so what this speed is, this is all the example how to explain your speed, but what this actually the speed means, the distance covered by a moving body in unit time is its speed. Means the distance covered by a moving body, any moving body, in unit speed means in 1 unit means 1. Or simply you can understand the speed of a moving body is the total distance covered by the total time taken. Clear? This will be easier for you. If you remember, the speed of a moving body is the total distance covered by the total time taken to travel that distance. Suppose if it is 10 kilometer and you are taking 2 kilometers, so it's not that 2 hours, it's not that means you have to complete that 10 kilometer in 2 hours, then only you will get your speed. If you complete the 10 hours in 10 kilometer in 4 hours and you are writing 2 kilometer means the time taken by some other person to cover that distance, then it won't give the speed at which you are traveling. You have to write how much distance you want to cover or how much distance you have covered and the total time you have taken to cover that distance. Now cover that distance means the place from you started from a place and you reached other place. So what was the time difference between them? That will be the total time taken. Suppose if I start from Siliguri at morning at noon 12 and I reach some place at 3 o'clock in the evening or in the afternoon. So the time taken by me is 3 hours and the total distance I covered say about 8 kilometers or 20 kilometers. So my speed will be 20 by 3. Okay. So this is how you calculate your speed. The speed calculated here is actually the average speed. Now this is the average speed. This is not the actual. Why they are telling average speed? Because while traveling, due to the road condition, due to the traffic condition, it is not that you are always you are moving at the same speed. Sometimes your speed must be slower, sometimes your speed must be faster. So they are telling you this is the average speed. Okay. Now the SI unit means Standard International Unit of length or the distance is meter and that of time is second. So the unit of speed will be meter per second. However, when we talk about long distances, about when we travel by car, when we travel by plane, then we have the total distance covered in kilometer and the time taken will be usually in hour. So that time the speed will be kilometer per hour. And many times it happens, you calculate the answer in kilometer per hour, then you have to again convert it into meter per second if the question asks you. Okay. So this was the how to calculate speed and what is the definition of speed.